Intriguing contest, terrific matchup this, Dignum against Sirotkin. And I'm wondering which version of Danny Dignum is going to be required tonight if he's to come out on top and hold on to this title. Sirotkin looking to put on pressure right from the start, and it's worth remembering Dignum did cop some shots early on through the first 4 or 5 rounds against Melly last time up. I do sense as well, Gary, that Sirotkin had a simmering resentment at the weigh-in. There was a stare-off between them. Neither fighter wanted to turn first, to blink, if you like, towards the photographers. And then Sirotkin was awaiting almost for a handshake, which wasn't forthcoming, as Dignum just turned and walked away, and there was a kind of shake of the head from Sirotkin as if to say that's not how you're supposed to do it. So interesting to see how this one pans out. Certainly Sirotkin has come with a bit of energy and intensity through the first minute.
Started bright, isn't he, Sirotkin? He's jumped straight on Danny Dignum. He's caught him a few times as well. Whether he can last this out, I don't know. Whether he can keep the pace going. But I noticed Danny Dignum's targeted the body. Whenever he's got close, he's let a couple go to the body of Sirotkin, possibly remembering what John Ryder did to him.
And also what worked for him against Alfredo Melli, where he stayed in close, trusted his defences, and then was explosive, almost like an uppercut, that right hook to the midsection, and it worked for him, and ultimately it won him the fight.
Switching all the time, Sirotkin.
Oh, there it goes, Gary. Exactly that shot. And it takes such timing, confidence, absolute conviction to deliver those kind of shots.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to target the body because of what Ryder did to him. Perhaps they see a weakness there.
And I was wondering when I saw yesterday Dignum came in at 158.3, clearly inside the weight, and
£1.5 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
£1.75 pounds.
Yeah, well inside the weight. He lands a couple of shots there, Dignum, trying to get on the front foot, but he has been a long time out of the ring. He's never been out of the gym, not necessarily training for an opponent, not hard training for a night, but more than ticking over as Sirotkin misses wildly with a left hand. Bubbling up nicely.
Just started off standing just a little bit tall, didn't he, Dignum? And I think Sirotkin was coming low and whipping the shots up over the top, but I think Danny's settled a little bit now, starting to find his range.
Remembering being just literally a few feet away at the York Hall when he walked Ali Warren onto a beautiful uppercut, left hand, and he broke Warren's nose with that shot. It was an absolutely sensational effort. He's got that explosive punching power. Good start. Might be there's a little bit of blood somewhere, but he was made to work there. Dignum through the first round.
Every time he dips,
yeah, it looks nice and calm.
Yeah. When he goes low, that's when you bring him up. Yeah. Keep peppering him in that jab, plenty of feints. Yeah. Keep it nice and simple.
Good advice here from Kevin Lilly. Good trainer, Kevin. Goes under the radar because he doesn't really shout his mouth off like a lot of them.
Well, they've been together for a while, perfecting and honing his skills. You could see through that first round the kind of unorthodox problems that Sirotkin presents.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a strange style, isn't he? He tends to punch from the chest rather than from the chin a lot of the time. And those punches are hard to read.
It's a better jab there from Dignum.
Nice, really good.
As I said at the very start, teeing this one up, I think the problem for Dignum, if it is indeed a problem tonight, he's getting the right balance about at which distance he's going to fight this fight. Whether it's a combination, whether he'll do some work behind the jab from distance, or whether he's going to be more effective when things close and he can use that sway of the body and those sharp counters.
looking to put the pressure on him now, Danny, behind the jab, put the pressure on him, try to break him down, bust him up. There, beautiful, really nice.
Shot back though from Sirotkin. As I said before, you're in the heat of the furnace in that kind of zone, that area. You've got to be spot on with your defences there when the hooks are flying and the shots are swinging. Took that, the big cheer from the Russian corner, but he took that one on the glove. That jab got through though from Sirotkin.
Yeah, a lot more settled now in this round, Danny. Finding his jab, finding his range a little bit better. And Sirotkin not so keen to attack now.
Well, I suppose that's when he's able to come forward and control the tempo of it.
I think every time Sirotkin does attack, he's getting countered with those body shots and they hurt. So I think he's thinking twice about it now.
Sort of left hand getting through from Sirotkin though.
Good shot.
He's not absolutely able to control all of this yet, Dignum, but he is having more success in this round.
Yeah, definitely he's winning the round. He's landing the better shots. And he's basically keeping Sirotkin at bay now. Good shot again.
Yeah, I think he was just bowled over there. Slightly untidy. Nice body shot there from Sirotkin. The shots are wild and sometimes not easy to see.
Good round for Danny Dignum there.
Yeah, it was. Sirotkin sort of came back into it at the end. It's that sort of unorthodox where the shots are often coming as quite wide hooks. They're not necessarily easy to see. You sort of think they should be, but... Much more control definitely in that round in the boxing of Danny Dignum.
Don't block, don't block, don't block.
He's actually had a bit of sparring with John Ryder, former opponent of Sirotkin in the build up to that one. That's good sparring. And unbeaten Linus Hidofia as well.
He's smart.
Obviously took some notes from John Ryder as well.
Second down, round 3.
It's not necessarily the style you can prepare for.
Strange. Fights out of a crouch.
Yeah, almost agitated, isn't it?
Looks like he means business at the start of this round, though, Sirotkin.
Yeah, to be fair, he's come out at the start of every round, particularly the first, hasn't he? Almost sprinted across the ring, trying to unsettle Dignum. Missed with a couple of jabs, landed with a third one there, Sirotkin.
Good shot.
Oh, clip of that, the right hand there as well, Dignum. Oh, nice uppercut there, really split the guard there, Dignum, and again the jab starting to work for him.
Just got to make sure he keeps his shape a little bit more, Danny. Keeps his shape. the steam seems to go out of Sirotkin after about a minute and a half. He's not so attacking after that. So Danny can pinch the last minute of each round, I think, by keeping his shape and keeping things nice and tight.
Dropped his hands there, trying to tease Sirotkin briefly, and the shouts that came from the corner in the gallery up above us. Very, very loud.
I bet.
To remind Dignum not to be careless, take any chances.
Well, of course, from any fighter, you don't want them being careless, especially when they're in against a guy who can crack a little bit. So
managed to time that shot there, Sirotkin. He almost caught him again with a left, but there's been some good boxing in this round as it's gone on from Dignum once again.
Definitely.
Oh, fantastic. It was a wild left hand again. I mean, so far out of the eye line, but he followed it up with a straighter right hand. And there's another shot gets through from Sirotkin.
You smell blood now, Sirotkin. In Dignum's face. Oh, that wasn't too good.
No, almost took out the entire lighting apparatus with that shot, Sirotkin. Goodness me. I think he might have taken all of us with him as well, had he landed it. I mean, he is wild, beyond control with some of his work, Sirotkin, but he had his success in that round, a round that Dignum had been winning up until those points.
What did I say to you? Every time you swing, it goes down low. They're only the shots you're getting forward, they're good.
They see that body shot. That's a really good shot. I mean, as good as he was from distance, there was that uppercut as well. I mean, he was in control of that round, Dignum, and then a few of those wild swipes from Sirotkin bore some fruit.
Он фланговые удары не видит. Смотрит вот как в трубу. Да. Качнул, и через ноги. Вот в этого было последний момент. Таких ударов не надо. Не бросайся на ура. На ура, когда он закрыт. Понял? Свободно.
Seconds out, round 4.
Into round 4 then. I just don't know how you prepare for a guy like Sirotkin.
It's difficult. I mean, as well as being sort of jerky in style, he's also a southpaw to boot. He throws very wild punches. You never know when he's going to attack, when he's going to go back. So it is very difficult to defend against what he throws. I mean, if you look at what John Ryder does, he tends to bully an opponent. He stifles their work. He leans on them, and I think that's exactly what he did with Sirotkin.
I think
that may be the answer, actually.
I think Dignum needs to be close, personally. You negate those wild hooks, first of all, and he's also happens to be when he's at his best anyway. Nice counter, that from Danny Dignum.
I think on too many occasions, when Danny's tried to counter, he's got caught with a shot on the way in.
So just a bit wary.
Maybe just stay up close a little bit and just try it out and see how he fares for sort of the rest of the round, and then take instruction from the corner.
That third round was that third round was more difficult to score. Dignum had more of it, and then there was those flashes at the end of it. Was it enough to get Sirotkin on the scorecard? I'm not so sure.
I thought Sirotkin landed with some very eye-catching shots towards the second half of that third round. Maybe pinched around, but
fair enough. Either way, he's a kind of jack in the box of tricks, isn't he, Sirotkin?
He's only had one
shot.
Fight. Sorry, Alex. He's only had really one fight of meaningful sort of title level, which is John Ryder. Perhaps he's been avoided. Perhaps that's the reason, you know.
He fought an unbeaten British fighter last time. That was back in October.
Yeah. Lester Dennis, yeah. That was over in Russia, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and it, it's a big step up from fighting for the English title to fighting Sirotkin. And in the end, Sirotkin was Was just too good, came on strong. He actually had Dennis in a bit of bother, didn't he? He landed a huge shot in the first round and eventually stopped.
I think he was down 4 or 5 times, Buster Dennis. Stopped in the 8th, I think.
Dignum's altogether a different cat that Sirotkin's in against tonight. Looks like he's trying to get a bit closer, Dignum, and I think that might be the key for him, but we'll see. Started to bubble up. Dignum making Sirotkin work there.
It's only really the swings that he's landing with, Sirotkin. He's not really landing with the conventional straight shots, is he? So
it's how do you deny him those wild opportunities? Maybe Spencer's got an answer to that, as well as how he's seen this one going.
Yes, gentlemen, I'm seeing this fight 38-38, 2 rounds apiece. Danny Dignum shouldn't be trying to throw like the one-shot power shot. He should be throwing 1s and 2s because they're both southpaws. He'd be throwing a double jab, straight left hand, because Sirotkin loads up so much and he throws himself off balance. He could actually time it when he's going to throw that shot and then come back with his right hook. But Sirotkin, he's a very tough man, and when you've got loose guys like that, the double jab, straight left hand is the key.
Seconds out, round 5.
Into round 5 then, approaching halfway. Sirotkin with a little flurry again, wide punches from him.
yeah, I think the answer with anyone who's awkward or ungainly or very strange in style is just to do the basics and to do them well. And I think Dignum, on the whole part, he does do the basics very well. And you can see, and he's a good boxer, good body puncher, but sometimes even when you do the basics well against these guys, you still get clipped. Seems to be the case at the moment, but fight's in the balance at the moment anyway, so it's there to be won.
Good jab from Dignum. Take control from the center of the ring.
Right. Keep your head up.
It's like an electric eel, isn't he, Sirotkin? Suddenly shock shots from almost nowhere from him.
Just sparks into life from doing nothing for 30 seconds, doesn't he?
Again, just a off balance, I think, Sirotkin.
And the body, huh? And the body.
A flurry from Sirotkin, but that was disciplined from Dignum, I think, in and amongst all of that.
Settled into his boxing a lot more in this round, Danny Dignum. Nice tight guard, nice straight arrows, nice.
I think also, if he can keep Sirotkin on the back foot, he's so much less effective, isn't he?
I think that's a key point, Alex. If you keep him on the back foot, then he's not as effective. But even on the back foot, he keeps diving in with these swinging shots, and if they catch you, they're going to hurt you. As simple as that. Good shot.
Yes, jab, and then the left uppercut. Terrific shot there, right on the chin of Sirotkin, who wore it well. Intense concentration and discipline required from Danny Dignum here.
Educated jab there from Danny. Really getting the better of this round just with that jab alone.
It's just a different fight when he's on the front foot, controlling Sirotkin.
Dropped the level as well, though, Alex. You know, in the first round, he was standing very tall. Just seemed to have dropped the level now.
Good round from maybe best round of the fight for Dignum so far since the first.
I concur.
That's felt good, sweet. Beautiful boxing. Want a rinse? Yeah. Want a rinse? Don't want a rinse, no? Deep breath, 2 deep breaths. Brand new. Keep it, like I said, keep him on that back foot.
Yeah.
Yeah? He looks like he's trying to go for your body a bit more now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
More of the set. There's that fantastic technique and nice shot from Danny Dignum. There you go. Jab, didn't overcommit with the power, but certainly committed to that left hand. And Kevin Lilly in the corner there. You were just heard saying you're looking for the body now.
Seconds out.
Maybe that's something that's going to work into the repertoire. And it's a vast repertoire of technical and potent punching from Danny Dignum, and what we've seen so far and through the latter parts of his career to date.
Yeah, he's quite neat when he uses his jab on the counter, isn't he, Sirotkin? He doesn't, you know, not everything is a swing. When he's jabbing on the counter, he's quite accurate, like there. Particularly, I know he missed with that one, sorry, but you know, he takes the power out of him. He's a lot more accurate,
especially from the southpaw stance, I think.
Oh yeah. And of course, a southpaw fight in a southpaw is just as difficult for an orthodox fight in a southpaw. People seem to think the southpaw is used to a southpaw, but southpaws are used to orthodox fighters. So a southpaw fight and a southpaw, they're going to find each other very difficult because southpaws are few and far between.
Yeah, whether he'd admit it or not, I do think that Alfred O'Malley gave him a few problems from that stance. Naturally. Certainly through the first half of that fight, and then he really did get in control, landed the body shots.
Really good work there from the jab again. Really good.
And that's where Dignum needs to be disciplined when those wild shots are coming in from Sirotkin, who's landed a few. Dignum trying to control the space. Nice left hand off his jab again. Oh, Sirotkin with the backhand this time.
Yeah, clipped him, but I think he landed a good left uppercut counter to the body as well, Dignum. Of course, the danger is when throwing uppercuts, you leave yourself actually wide open, so you have to be sure you keep your backhand covered.
Oh, some good shots landed there. Nice flurry, that bit of control from Dignum.
Just loaded up a little bit with that 1-2 though, and with that. Just puts his shots together in 2s and 3s. I think he'll have a little bit more success rather than trying to throw them too hard.
Yeah, he is starting to work to the body as well. There's a nice body shot from Dignum. A couple of good rounds back to back from Dignum, maybe getting a bit of control in this. And that's the second round in a row with Dignum's working behind the jab, Gary, but also forcing Sirotkin backwards.
Forcing him backwards, forcing him to do work that he doesn't really want to do, and ultimately sort of, you know, he comes out with daft combinations where he can get countered. So I think it's definitely the right tactics from Dignum. Instead of standing his ground, trying to outbox him, I think backing him up and maybe getting a little bit closer to him, I think would be better.
Started boxing with his brother John at a young age. One glove each in the sitting room, as so often the case. Both, of course, went on to be national champions, ABA champions in successive years, the pair of them at middleweight. What a family honour that is and was back in 2011, 2012. Fantastic achievement for the pair of them and for the family.
Brilliant achievement. I think John turned pro as well, didn't he? But
yeah.
I think he only had about 3 fights.
Yeah, handful of fights, John. Yeah. Big supporter now of Danny, and I'm sure he'll be pleased, as will Dad John, with what they've seen so far, whilst knowing that this little bag of tricks has still the potential, Sirotkin, to be a bit of a nuisance.
Just to and fro in this fight at the moment. You know what, Dignum gets a couple of rounds and then Sirotkin just seems to come right back into it, doesn't he? He's had a good start to this 7th round. Oh, good shot again from Sirotkin, good left hand.
There's always something from Sirotkin, always something.
Notice this round though, he's not getting backed up. I think that's why he's having the success. Danny backs him up and pushes him onto the back foot. I think he might have a little bit more success himself. Keeps trying those swings, then even though he missed, I think he's missed with every single one of them, but he persevered and he keeps trying.
Yeah, well, it's the lottery, isn't it? It's boxing lottery, the raffle, call it what you will. Buy enough tickets, maybe one of them will come up with the numbers. Put it in sort of plain speaking for us, Gary, why you might be able to push a fighter back at one moment in a fight and not in another.
I don't think Danny is naturally a stand-up close kind of fighter. So when he tries to back him up and Sirotkin kind of stands his ground and starts to come forward, I think naturally Danny gives him the distance. He wants to keep a distance between them. So I think when Danny's pushed Sirotkin back, I think Sirotkin's allowing himself to be pushed back.
Oh, that's a huge shot there, big left hand.
Very good shot from Danny. Yeah, so when Sirotkin comes forward, I think Danny just puts that space between them. I think that's the natural boxing brain that he's got. He's not used to sort of standing up close. Beautiful jab.
Well, fair play to Sirotkin because he's tried something different.
Again.
My goodness me. In the back of that huge left hand, there is a breeze that makes its way through the arena. He tried that round, didn't he, Sirotkin?
He did.
Some clever boxing as well, though, from Dignum, and that huge left hand.
A lot of success for both in that round.
Легкие повторные атаки, ясно? Кидайся, все видишь, нормально все, контролируешь бой. Вот хороший раунд такой. Из таких раундов...
Well, Sirotkin refused to be pushed back in that round, and he got some success on the back of it. There's that big shot from Dignum, timed it perfectly.
Tit for tat in that round, I think, wasn't it?
10 seconds, bonus.
Попал на голову. Чередуешь сразу.
Seconds out, round 8.
Into round 8 then. Dignum comes out trying to get on the front foot again.
Oh, good shot.
Large round of applause from the Russian corner. Of course, this is for the WBO European title, which Dignum has. And he's defending for the second time. And of course, the WBO title itself up for grabs later on tonight on the back of this fight, not long after stateside. Liam Williams going for that. Gary Lockett, my co-commentator, fought for it once upon a time as well, and knows Liam particularly well, having trained him for plenty of the early part of his career as well. Big assignment for him against Demetrius Andrey later on tonight. Wonder how that one's going to go.
We wish him all the best.
Sirotkin And oh, big left hand. And Dignum reeling backwards, looking to tie up for the first time. Another left hook gets through there from Sirotkin. And a body shot from Sirotkin too.
Really fancying this now, Sirotkin.
First sign of potential danger for Dignum.
He's relentless at the moment, Sirotkin.
It'd be interesting if he's forcing Dignum to fight in this way. Is there a cut?
As well,
yeah, he is. Just above, it looks above the left eye, is it? Oh, and a huge right hand from Sirotkin too. This is a big round from him. And this chaotic style of the Russian is bearing some fruit for him. Body shot there from Dignum. Right thing to do to try and tie up Sirotkin. Well, there's another body shot from Dignum. And this is a good response for him. It might not be enough to win him the round, but it might prove some sort of point. But another couple of big shots getting through. Whether it's just the style, the intensity, the blood. There's another shot. Another right hand gets through from Sirotkin. Huge round for him.
No. How'd you go? Water, please? Sweet. Water, please.
I just can't really see properly.
Huh?
Can't really see properly.
Fine. Got blood.
Put the head back for me.
Let's do it back.
No, keep your head in a normal position, right? Just hold the head there. There you go, look.
Just listen to me. He's going to come out swinging it, you know. What did I tell you? Yeah. You're leaving your hands down and just too many single jabs. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Keep feigning, keep that beat smart.
And there for the first time, I think you can see just a little bit of worry, to maybe tiny bit of panic in the eyes of Danny Dignum. It's a completely new thing to have to deal with, Spencer, and just when maybe he was in control of the cards.
Control.
10
And
seconds, corners.
maybe he took his mind off of the game, but he got hurt with some horrible shots there. He's got to tighten up and just get back to his box. I still got him ahead in the rounds. I'm still winning, but he's going to have to keep out of harm's way.
He might have to win one of these final two rounds in the process as well, thanks to Spencer. Well, I mean, it was a close competitive fight anyway. Sirotkin suddenly energized, incentivized. He absolutely believes that there's something there for him. All of it, in fact, perhaps there for him now. This is a big test, Gary, of Dignum.
Yeah, I'm just studying what he's trying to do, how he's trying to solve the puzzle here, Danny. Which way he's trying to go about it. He's overthinking things, I think, a little bit, I think, and walked into shots then from trying to overthink things.
And the cut is actually, it's almost on the forehead, isn't it? But there's a little bit of just trickling down the inside of his nose, inside of his eyes, so maybe he's presenting a little bit of a problem for him.
Yeah, he said in the corner that he was finding it difficult to see as well, so it's hard enough without your vision being impaired.
I think the bigger problem, though, is this little character in front of him. That's another swiping. I mean, you sort of feel he almost shouldn't be hit by shots like this, but he's so unorthodox that it works for Sirotkin. He is a nightmare right now.
And he's relentless. He isn't going to stop. He's going to be there now for the next two rounds, throwing leather.
Oh, was that a body shot from Sirotkin? Another huge overhand. Right, I mean, these are swinging wild shots from Sirotkin, but they're landing.
He can't miss at the moment, Sirotkin, can he? Danny's just seemed to run out of ideas. And
yeah, things are getting desperate now, and I think he's losing this round, Dignum. There's a right hand, and he might just be losing control of the fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if he can't see these shots coming, because he seems like a sitting duck at the moment, doesn't he?
He's getting tired. He's unraveling a bit here, Dignum. He needs to dig deep. There's another shot gets through, and the blood gets worse. There's a right hand. He can't get out the way, Dignum. The right hand continues to find its mark, and it's right on the cut. Oh, there's a left hand sag back on the ropes. Dignum's in a bit of bother here with 20-odd seconds to go. Another huge right hand from Sirotkin, who is piling it on.
Desperate times here for Danny. He's got to tuck up tight. That's better.
Oh, uppercut from Dignum. Amazing how this is just turned upside down in the last couple of rounds. Huge effort from Sirotkin. The one point you'd make, as big as these rounds have and as huge as the momentum has swung, they are only essentially 1 point rounds.
It is 1 point rounds, and don't forget that Danny won quite a few of the earlier rounds, so again, what do you go for? Which do you score?
Well, there's no doubt Sirotkin's won the last 2 rounds and he's won them big, but they are 1 point rounds, and the question is how much damage was done through some of those close competitive rounds previously. Oh my goodness me, more to the worry is what can Dignum do in this final 3 minutes?
Obviously the last two, when I said that then, when I said about which way do you score, it wasn't the last two. The last two is clearly Sirotkin, but the ones before that, they're very much in the balance a lot of the rounds.
Big 3 minutes in the career of Danny Dignum. Because this tough, enigmatic Russian has found a way. He's created a puzzle all night that's been difficult for Dignum to solve, but more to the point now is that Dignum just can't seem to get away or out of the way of some of these hard shots.
Needs to be very tight this round, Danny. Don't stand too tall.
But he also might have to win the round.
Yeah, I think he has. He's just got to stand in there and bite down on the gum shield and plant those feet into the ground and let it rip, let the shots rip, and try and have a little scrap with the guy and hopefully come out on top. There's no tactics involved now. You can't just run away. I think he needs to win the round, definitely.
The big question is how had you scored the other 7? Managing to, well, just clipped there. I was going to say, managing to stay out of bother so far, Dignum. Oh, there's a nice shot. Again, that 1-2 that's worked for him a few times, Dignum. Is he going to have to meet far with just a little bit of discipline and heart thrown in? All the while circling away to his right. Fair play to Dignum. He's going to regroup to an extent. Oh, I think there might have been a clash of heads. He almost landed a left hand with the inside of the glove there, Dignum, but it was he that was forced to back off. I think the heads might have collided there. Is that cut even worse?
Bad cut is a different cut. It's right on the side of the left eye.
No wonder he backed off. That looked painful. Clock whirling away. Right hand gets through. He surely can't see too many of these punches, and just as he'd sort of secured something in the final round, Dignum, at least he was fighting on even terms, it seemed. 30 seconds to go. Still could be up for grabs. Left hand from Sirotkin. Busyness, the intensity throughout the final couple of rounds.
Yeah. Oh, he's caught him again.
Well, that's what, I mean, he pulls it back about 3 feet, follows an arc of another 3 or 4 feet, and somehow manages to find the target, Sirotkin. And Dignum's face is a mask of blood down the left-hand side. A warm embrace from them at the end. How much they understand each other, one can only guess, but one thing's for sure, the language of boxing transcends all, and they understand each other perfectly, even although Sirotkin throughout, in boxing terms, has spoken a language that is bewildering at times, but that style bore him plenty of success through the final 2.5 to 3 rounds. And is that enough to get him something in this fight? Tough one to call, tough fight to go through for Danny Dignum latterly. Well, the first cut was a pain, but this, I think it's a clash of heads through that the second half of that round, and he is going to be wearing the scars of battle. Will those scars be worth it in the final analysis? We're about to. Oh my goodness me! What's your hunch, Gary? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking possibly Sirotkin, just by a point, maybe a draw. If I had to go for anyone, it would probably be Sirotkin.
Right, okay. I'm not so sure, but goodness me, look at that cut. That is an absolute shocker. It's right across diagonally right across the eyebrow from the forehead down onto the eyelid. Spencer, what are you thinking?
I think Gary could be right. It could. I could see this either going like 95-95, call it a draw, because the rounds were big. What Sirotkin won, but they weren't 10-8 rounds in his favor, and because of that, we could be looking at a draw. But it's a really difficult one to score because he won rounds big, but not big enough to say like, right, it was a 10-8 round. So we could be looking at a draw, or it could go 1 point either way to either fight. It's a very close fight.
Dignum seems to think he's won. I don't know if it's just because he's come through a war and he's come through, you know, he's had to get down into the trenches and he's had to prove something, maybe to himself, maybe to others, who knows. But
he did a lot of good work in some of the rounds. You know, he kept his shape and he whacked the weight of the body, he used his jab really well. But then at other times he was just getting backed up, he was getting caught with big silly shots, and you know, I think they were eye-catching shots as well, weren't they? So I think he gave a lot of rounds away just getting hit by those silly shots.
Entirely how you saw that first 7. Did you have it, Dignum, 4-3? Could you stretch to 5-2? I have no idea, but I think probably, maybe the last 3, you might have given all of them for Sirotkin. So, fortunately, it's not for us to calculate or to decide. That is out of our control. Let's find out how it has been decided.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to our judges' scorecards. Howard Foster scores the contest 96 points to 94 in favour of Sirotkin. Steve Gray scores the contest 96 points to 95 in favour of Dignum. Judge Teddy O'Connor scores the contest 95 points to 95, a draw. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split draw.
It's a draw. Split decision draw. So competitive, so close. I'm not going to argue with that. What it means is that Danny Dignum keeps his title, maintains his unbeaten record, and boy, did he have to come through some tough times. Sirotkin feels like he's been